Jesus Christ, how much did you order?
What's the one thing that people order more than any other? Well, that depends on which drive-thru window you pull up to. Here are the top 10 most ordered menu items from all fast food chains.
Although, actually, don't eat too much because a lot of it is to go.
Dunkin.
Sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts.
Fast food is fantastic for business, and everyone has their favorite menu item no matter which quick-serving franchise you prefer. But for some, it isn't just the foodstuffs that are everybody's biggest moneymakers. And for the former Dunkin' Donuts, how could their most ordered menu item not be a donut? Well, it was in 2018 when the company finally admitted that Java was its specialty and officially parted ways with the donuts half of its name, simply becoming known as Dunkin'. The change was a long time coming, since as early as 2015, the company had estimated over 60% of its sales came from beverages instead of food, finding more success with their Joe than their dough.
Oh, look, you got your Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
The Massachusetts-based master of coffee chains has its footprint all over the globe, with over 13,000 locations across 40 different nations. Dunkin's head office says the chain sells a whopping 60 cups of coffee every second, accounting for an astronomical 2 billion cups sold around the world every year. A 2019 survey of 45,000 coffee lovers placed Dunkin as the highest-rated coffee of any American chain, both for the direct sale stuff and the packaged at-home varieties like Keurig pods. Never mind burgers, it sounds like a cup of Joe is the new favorite for foodies on the go.
We can stop for coffee at Dunkin' Donuts before we hit the bridge.
Taco Bell.
Hey, I got your Taco Bell breakfast.
For years, Taco Bell encouraged us to think outside the bun, but it's time to think outside the box when it comes to their most requested menu item, the Crunchwrap Supreme. The Tex-Mex taco slingers have gotten pretty creative over the years, and their ingenuity has left the more traditional menu items like fries supreme, tacos, and classic nachos at the bottom of the money-making chart. The crossover tradition goes as far back as the 1970s, with the introduction of Taco Bell's enchilada/burrito, dubbed the Enchirito, and continuing with combinations like the Doritos Locos Tacos and even the elusive Mexican pizza. Today, the winner of the wacky experimentation is the Crunchwrap Supreme.
That's a wrap!
This original in-house creation wraps a classic open-faced tostada in a toasted tortilla and was so popular when hitting the market as a 2005 limited run, it eventually became a mainstay. Today, Google Trends Analytics have it as the most ordered item at Taco Bell, 70% more often than anything else on the menu. It's proof that two great tastes usually taste great together, and as long as Taco Bell keeps mixing and matching, we'll keep munching.
But don't go crazy.
Popeyes.
Popeye's chicken sandwich.
When Popeye's Louisiana Fast Chicken entered the scene in 1972, their biggest hit was, naturally, classic Southern-style bone-in fried chicken. Over the years, the company's offerings expanded to include such chicken classics as tenders, nuggets, wings, and even Cajun-style seafood. But nearly a half a century after the restaurant's debut, a new champion emerged that has maintained a grip on Popeye's sales: their chicken sandwich. There's an old saying that goes, "There are no winners in war." But in the case of the 2019 chicken sandwich wars, there might be an exception.
Winner chicken dinner.
After Popeyes introduced their chicken sandwich in August of 2019, it took the country by storm, selling out at Popeyes locations from coast to coast. The battle was immediately on, with nearly 24 other fast food chains across America introducing or re-releasing fried chicken sandwiches over the 2 years that followed. Estimates had chicken sandwich sales across the fast food industry increasing by a staggering 420% over those 2 years. And Popeyes themselves saw their sales go way up with a 38% increase by the end of 2019. Even when the dust settled, the hype train kept rolling down the track, and the chicken sandwich has continued to top Popeyes sales charts ever since.
Guys, believe the hype.
First time here? Well, our channel's like a virtual video drive-thru, but without the wait. So hit that subscribe button and enjoy the ride. Chick-Fil-A.
Let's get Chick-Fil-A and not tell anybody.
Popeyes might be the new kid on the chicken sandwich block, but one of its biggest competitors has its version clucking to the top of the charts, too. Predating the 2019 Popeyes version, the 1995 Wendy's spicy chicken version, or both the 1980s KFC Chicken Little and McDonald's McChicken sandwiches, Chick-fil-A's version claims to have roots tracing all the way back to 1964. Even today, Chick-fil-A touts themselves as the home of the original chicken sandwich.
Everything else here is fake.
Before the boost of the chicken sandwich wars, Chick-fil-A's chicken nuggets were the chain's most popular nationwide seller for 3 consecutive years. But the sandwich just might be staying on top for good after the chain served a staggering 527 million chicken sandwiches in 2022. In that calendar year alone, Chick-fil-A raked in almost $19 billion of total sales thanks to serving over 2 billion customers.
And the sales for Chick-fil-A went through the roof once Elton John bought them.
KFC.
You shouldn't bring in KFC unless it's actual KFC.
Unlike the competition, the Colonel didn't resort to sandwiching anything between a bun to make KFC's chicken a hot ticket. It's no surprise that the never-changed secret recipe of 11 herbs and spices is what everyone wants when they get a craving for some KFC. Despite its Kentucky roots, KFC has a truly global footprint, bringing buckets to almost 150 different countries with more than 25,000 locations. Estimates suggest somewhere around 12 million customers worldwide stop at a KFC location somewhere on Earth every single day.
Is there a better feeling on Earth?
And the top order? KFC's original recipe chicken. But while traditional original recipe bone-in chicken has ruled the roost, from time to time, new challengers emerge. Recently, the return of the Colonel's chicken nuggets have been pushing for the top spot. Original nuggets were discontinued in the mid-1990s after years of failing to compete with McDonald's McNuggets, but they've been a hit this time around. KFC's new version of nuggets caught on enough to sell a whopping 100 million nuggets in 2 months to start 2023. Locations have seen an 8% jump in traffic since nuggets came back, but only time will tell if that oh-so-good KFC original recipe chicken gets permanently dethroned as the bucket-filling bestseller.
Are you ready for the nugget?
Wendy's.
Wendy? Who's Wendy?
Once upon a time, a popular Wendy's ad campaign asked,
Where's the beef?
and in June of 2007, they answered that question and more with a massive meat monstrosity they dubbed the Baconator. A high-demand item ever since it debuted, the Baconator took the nation by storm and sold a tasty 25 million units in its first 2 months on the menu, en route to selling a sizzling 68 million burgers in total during its first 10 months.
They make burgers. We eat burgers.
The burger has proven popular enough over the years to create its own spin-offs, including 2012's downsized version, Son of Baconator, and 2020's Breakfast Baconator. There was even a limited-time crossover with Pringles that sold tubes of official Wendy's Baconator-flavored chips. We always knew bacon was a big seller, so it only makes sense the burger with the most bacon would be Wendy's most ordered menu item.
Fine. Anything else?
Bacon.
Arby's.
All I did was go get some delicious piping hot Arby's.
When the old lady from the Wendy's commercial was spending the 1980s so concerned about finding the beef, she should have looked to their competitors over at Arby's. Sure, the sandwich specialists have also offered chicken, turkey, and pork options, but it's that trademark classic roast beef sandwich that's ordered the most. This is Arby's marquee sandwich and is so meaty it literally doesn't have room for anything else.
It's a hamburger made out of meat on a bun with nothing.
It's a toasted bun piled with marinated and shaved roast beef, and that's it. The simple recipe has been a hit since Arby's opened its doors in 1964 and is ordered so frequently at the restaurant's 3,300 worldwide locations that the company sells 130 million pounds of roast beef every single year. Fast food fanatics might sometimes want a break from burgers, but that doesn't mean that a roast beef sandwich can't be the next best thing.
Let's get some roast beef.
Starbucks.
Is that from Moby Dick?
They say great minds think alike, so great coffee shops might think alike too. We saw how Dunkin is dominating the market with a drink, and their rivals at Starbucks are all about that same strategy. Coffeeholics from coast to coast have been ditching their hot morning cup of joe for a crisp, chilled take on the breakfast beverage, and Starbucks cold brew versions are the big winners on the sales chart. Variations include the iced pistachio latte, cinnamon caramel cream nitro cold brew, iced iced caramel macchiato, iced blonde Americano, and sugar rush-inducing double chocolatey chip cream frappuccino. Some of the names might be a mouthful, but these cold brew coffees are also a mouthful of deliciousness that translates to being the most ordered Starbucks items.
If you want it, what do you say?
The trend isn't entirely new, since in 2017, the cold brew coffee market accounted for approximately $166 million of market sales in the United States. Just 4 years later, that total U.S. market value ballooned to over $1.2 billion in 2021. A year after that, an estimated 76% of the company's total U.S. sales were some variety of chilled beverage, as a Starbucks press release in August 2022 noted that chilled coffee beverages make up 3/4 of their total United States sales in the third fiscal quarter of that year. Who'd have ever thought the red-hot demand for a warm cup of coffee might actually be turning cold?
It's hot! Damn hot! Real hot!
Outback Steakhouse.
Now there's the Outback Steakhouse Extreme!
It's not a stretch of the imagination to think that the most popular item at a steakhouse would be the steak. But when it comes to Outback Steakhouse, they might have to change their name. The real star attraction at Outback is their famous bloomin' onion appetizer. Created in 1988 by the founder of the chain, the breaded and deep-fried onion cut into 200 flower-like petals is an eye-catching dish. It weighs 1¼ pounds before hitting the deep fryer, has a diameter of over 4 inches before being sliced, and has popularity numbers as high as a cute koala.
It's not too late, they got that bloomin' onion.
According to Outback's official website, 1 in every 4 appetizers sold at the restaurant is a bloomin' onion, which means the chain sells more than 8 million of them a year and saw a peak run of 40 million sold between 2012 and 2015. To keep up with the demand, Outback has over 24 onion farms across Texas, Idaho, California, and Oregon, supplying onions to the restaurant's nearly 700 locations across the USA. For a starter dish, it packs an entree-sized wallop with nearly 2,000 calories, but an immeasurable amount of deliciousness.
Dream calories are real calories.
Before we get to the biggest of the best sellers, hit that like button while we get to this honorable mention. The late-night legends at White Castle have been in business since 1921, and it hasn't only been Harold and Kumar chasing down sliders in the restaurant's century-long history. Just after hitting the 100-year mark of existence, the company officially announced in 2022 that it had sold 28 billion sliders since the first of these mini munchers came off the grill. White Castle sliders have proved popular enough to not just be taken home in a paper bag, but in a grocery bag too. Sliders hit the frozen food aisle in 1987 as the first fast food to be offered in retail at convenience and grocery stores across the country, and they have accounted for 6 billion of the total sliders sold by White Castle over the years. Variations have existed throughout the decades, like the bacon cheese slider, chicken ring slider, surf and turf slider, or chicken and waffle slider. But the classic original slider and cheese slider has consistently topped customer demand. After all of its success, Time magazine officially declared the White Castle slider as the most influential burger of all time in 2014, and it will no doubt continue to influence sales numbers for another 100 years to come.
With endless options for renew, with endless options for renew, with endless options for renew.
Now the top spot, McDonald's.
Ronald McDonald, right?
As the planet's most popular fast food franchise, we assume the folks at the Golden Arches would have plenty of contenders for most requested menu item. From the Big Mac to Chicken McNuggets and Egg McMuffins to the McFlurry, there's no shortage of in-demand iconic items. But the item that tops our list is the same one that sits atop McD's sales chart, their self-proclaimed world-famous fries. These tasty fries have been on the menu as long as McDonald's has been in existence and are sold in large amounts since every McDonald's meal goes better with a side of fries, be it Happy Meal, Extra Value Meal, or late-night snack. They're also a popular seller just by themselves. McDonald's is estimated to sell more than 3 billion pounds of golden delicious fries every year. Who'd have thought the winner of a popularity contest would be a plain old potato?
Your potatoes are the best I've ever had.
Order up another great video. Just tap or click. First time here? Then hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell.